hands down, because just you are writing just 2 sentences. Each one is writing 2 sentences. Please, now we are going to work in groups. These groups of 4. You have already your postcard. I'm going to give you cards. I'll give you a red card. This will be for the presenter. Yes. And you are having also the green card. This will be for the manager. Then you have the secretary is the one who's going to take notes. Also you have the yellow card for the timekeeper, the one who keeps time. Now I'm going to give you cards in groups. Now each group has a postcard like this, right? In the first draft, you're writing a description for the place and other ideas that we discussed here about these people. You're having 10 minutes to do this. Okay? So what are we doing right now? Postcard. About the place you're having here. How much time are we going to take?
10 minutes.
Are we going to write in this postcard?
No.
So we are going to write in our notebooks. Yes. So now, do you want this now?
No.
Okay, I can have it, and you can start. Go on. Okay. Yes, you can see. Right. Yes. Just use the color. Just like them.
When the students have produced a first draft, they can move to the editing stage. First, they are given the chance for self-correction. This should be selective, focusing on one language area at a time.
Now please, sit down. You are finished?
Yes.
Right, this is good. And now, after we finish this was the first step. As I told you before that, you do not have to worry too much about this. Now we're going to write the second step. But please, first you have 2 minutes in groups again. You have 2 minutes to check what you have written, to check the sentences and the verbs. So you have 2 minutes to do this. Okay, go on.
After self-correction, students should be ready to get feedback from each other to share in the learning process. They now start to think of their compositions as directed to a real audience, their peers, rather than the teacher as a figure of authority. This also helps them focus on how to communicate to real people, other than the obsessive fear of the teacher's red marks. Sharing with peers also helps the students learn from each other, rather than regard the teacher and the book as the only sources of knowledge.
Now, yep. May I have your attention, please? You have finished checking your pencils? Right. And now I would like you to rewrite what you have written in your first draft here in the color card. I want you to rewrite it in good handwriting and good English too, right? Okay, you have 5 minutes to do this. So what are we going to write now? We are going to write the postcard in the color card, right? How much time do we have? 5 minutes. Yes, so go ahead. Make sure that the handwriting is big handwriting. Yes, okay. It's bigger. Now please, bend down. Bend down. Okay, good. Heba, bend down, please. You all finished?
Yes.
Good. And now, let's enjoy your wonderful postcards. So, let's first begin with this group. Who's the presenter here? Bassam? Yes, come on, Bassam here. Would you read your postcard to the groups?
Dear Benji, how are you, our love? We miss you so much. Here in the town, places are wonderful. It's here and interesting places. We visited the Great Palace yesterday. It's bigger than we expected it. Tomorrow we will going to visit the big church. People here are so practical. They are beautiful, but they are firm. This town is very big and the weather is cold. Oh, we are freezing here. We feel homesick to turn back to you, our love. Love your friends, Pusi and Usha, Susie and Hadu.
This is good. Actually, I enjoyed it. You know which country and the place they are in? Who knows the place they are in? Who can guess it? A big church. Yeah. Alia, you know? Where are they?
Moscow.
They are in Moscow. How do you know that they are in Moscow?
It's a big town and the people are practice and all time are war and it has a big church.
You all agree with Alia that it's Moscow, or do you have another idea? Sit down. Thank you, Alia. Yes, Heba?
Because Basan said there are freezing here.
You're- Yeah, freezing.
So it's Moscow. So the temperature there is below zero.
Oh, yeah, thank you. So you all agree that it's Moscow? Yes. Does anyone here have another idea? No. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Basan. And now let's hear from this group. And who's the presenter here? Fatma. Come here, Fatma. Nice postcard. Inshallah, we'll find them, put them in the wall outside, because tomorrow morning we can read them outside the class. Okay? Thank you very much.
After such peer correction, and when the students have written their best drafts, the teacher can collect these to mark and grade. Then he can select the best 2 or 3 to put on the wall for the next 2 classes, or he can publish them in the class magazine. That was a great class, don't you think? As we have just seen, Ashraf has taken the students through the different stages of the writing class. The teacher starts with topic elicitation, trying to help the students select the topic and see it in context. This is followed by brainstorming and reading in order to collect ideas. When the students have written in pairs or groups, they can start revising their compositions. The teacher starts with self-correction, helping the students to look at their compositions, focusing on one area at a time. This can be followed by peer feedback, the feedback they receive from their classmates. Such feedback helps the students and the teacher in avoiding a lot of correction, which looks ugly to the students as it's all read, and it minimizes the teacher's marking load. When the teacher marks the compositions at the end, he can mark them focusing on one area at a time, thus making learning most effective. Finally, the students can share their compositions if they see them published in a class magazine. In this way, writing can be seen as a continuous process of writing and rewriting. Student involvement is thus maximized through the different stages of writing, self-correction, and peer feedback. Such stages lessen the teacher's marking load and help the learners learn from each other. Additionally, by designing communicative tasks, the teacher can maximize the students' involvement and sense of audience, which help them a lot when they start writing outside the classroom for a real audience.
When I show my students the postcard that I got for them, when I mentioned the name Adham, they laughed and or smiled. And this because of Adham is the name of my dear son. He's very little child, is about 6 months. And in return, I do this to show my students, to make a rapport between me and my students, to have friendship, and also to create some sort of fun inside the classroom. And in return, also my students, when they wrote their postcard, they addressed it to some persons who were absent in the classroom, like May, when they send a postcard to May. And also when they signed the postcard, they give themselves funny names like Hankosha for Hind, or Pusi for Pesant, Haddora for Hadir, something like this. I asked my students to write in groups, and I think writing in groups gives them many advantages. First, to exchange ideas with each other, as I asked them first before writing in groups to each one to write 2 sentences separately. Then when they write in groups, they change their ideas. Secondly, to make a cooperation and to teach them how to cooperate together. Thirdly, I want them to be responsible, everyone to be responsible for his own work. Number 4 is that writing in groups is safe for students. Sometimes in the classroom, especially in writing, I may face some challenges and problems with students. One of these is like, some students do not want to write. I go to them, try to encourage them to write, and try to give them a hint, a word or two, and then they complete the sentence. This way they have self-confidence and they go away and write. Other challenge is that sometimes students do not have any idea about the topic I'm giving to them. Like in the lesson, when I give them the postcards, one of the groups had Moscow, and they didn't know anything about Moscow. I encouraged them to talk about general ideas. What did they do at that time? They began to recall from their memories what they see in the TV and how cold is Moscow, and they began to write from memory some general ideas, not specific places or specific habits or customs for people. And this was good for them.